Bevenidos, Freight fans, as enamored with the Netflix monster that is Stranger Things is me. I'm Jaime and Fuego here for the horror show, and in preparation for the release of the 5th and final season of the show, we are going through all of the comics, and in my case, all of the Stranger Things novels proper. This is the second one that was released, written by Adam Christopher, and it is all about Hop, entitled Darkness on the Edge of Town. And so this is a book that has two different time periods that it jumps back and forth between. So it is Christmas right after the conclusion of the second season. So you have Hop and 11. It is the day after Christmas, and so the reason the two of them are hanging out is because the rest of the gang is off seeing extended family, and 11 is very inquisitive and decides to get on the subject with Hop because, you know, she's his official adopted daughter at this particular point, and she asks him a question early on of, why are you a cop? At first, she's trying to ask him about his time in Vietnam. Hopper deflects it. He's not super interested in that, but it ends up turning into Hop discussing his time in New York City as a homicide detective. And so this ties in with taking place in the summer of 1977. So it really captures the grit and the grime of this particular period in New York City, where it was considered like one of the scariest cities in the nation. That's why Giuliani had to come and clean the city up at one particular point. But ironically enough, there is another serial killer at work, the 5-star killer, at the same time that the son of Sam is doing his thing. And so we get a little bit of Hop's wife Diane, Sarah, before she got cancer, unfortunately. But the real crux of the story here is the fact that Hopper and his very endearing female partner Delgado, who is a Cubana. Anyway, she is quite the presence in this book along with Hopper, but they're initially set on this case to investigate the 5-star killer, somebody who was going 5 stabs and then connecting the 5 stabs with, turning it into kind of a pentagram sort of thing. So there is a occult aspect to this particular book. But, you know, the one thing that I wasn't quite as into this is it doesn't tie in with Hawkins really at all, aside from, you know, flashing forward in time to 11 and her discussions and just further endearing their dynamic to each other. But, you know, this one is just a little too hard-boiled crime for me. There's some great action sequences, especially in the third act, but I gotta say, you know, hard case crime is not my personal sort of thing. It is compelling writing by Adam Christopher, you know, throughout, but, you know, it just didn't do it quite as much for me as Suspicious Minds did. So, guys, if you are into that sort of crime investigative sort of stuff with serial killers, check out Darkness on the Edge of Town. I'm Ben Fuego, and you've been Rad Status.